as he is recommending the budget to the council. Present today, our committee members, Ms. Cochran.
Good morning, Chair Aloha.
Good morning, Mr. Couch.
Good morning, Aloha, Chair.
Mr. Carvello.
Good morning, Chair.
Mr. Guzman.
Good morning, Chair.
And Mr. Victorino.
Hello and good morning, Chair.
The chair excuses Mr. Carroll, Ms. Baisa, and Mr. White. As always, members, we shall take public testimony on the one item we have agendized, and that is the proposed fiscal year 2016 budget. So let us state the rules. By this committee's rules, you have 3 minutes and 3 minutes only to testify. You do not have a minute to conclude. State your name. If you represent an organization, state that organization's name. Share your comments with the committee. You will address the chair in your comments. We shall assist you with time. Green light means please speak. Yellow light means you have 30 seconds to conclude. And red means stop. Just like at the intersection, you will stop. If members have questions for clarification after your testimony, please be prepared to respond if you so desire. Okay, with that, we'll start with Ann Rilero. Yeah, please adjust the microphone so it's convenient for you.
All right, thank you. Aloha, Chairperson Yukio Kama and members of the Maui County Budget and Finance Committee. My name is Ann Rilero, and I'm a Kula resident. My husband and I have lived on Maui for 15 years. I'm here to testify on behalf of Maui Bicycling League for funding of the West Maui Greenway in the 2017 budget. The West Maui Greenway would be a 5.5-mile paved freestanding path which will allow bicycles and pedestrians to travel safely between Olowalu and Lahaina, away from cars and traffic. We all know how Honolua-Pi'ilani Highway is subject to traffic jams due to just too many cars. The freestanding path would make bicycle commuting between Lahaina and Kahului safer and therefore more appealing to more people, and would help to mitigate the traffic problem. In addition, the West Maui Greenway would be a place for people of all ages to walk, run, and bike. It will be a place where parents can safely walk with babies and strollers, and where young kids, elementary school kids, can ride their bicycles safely. This greenway will support fitness and health for our community and be a fun recreational option for visitors and residents. Maui Bicycling League recently held a design charrette workshop with state and county leaders, including members of the mayor's office, the county public works staff, landowners, and bicyclists. The workshop was held with the support of a grant from National Parks, which the Maui Bicycling League had applied for and obtained. The people from Maui Bicycling League who are working on this project are extremely focused and hardworking. I would say tireless, but that's not a good thing for bicyclists. They have demonstrated their drive and capability to make this project happen, to find funding and support, to bring together all of the stakeholders to bring about this idea for our island community. I ask you, please, to support the $1.5 million in the mayor's budget for the West Maui Greenway. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your testimony. Members, any questions on her testimony for clarification purposes? Having not, Ms. Lero, thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.
We'll ask Lynn Araki-Regan to come forward, and following her will be Kim Round.
Good morning, council members. My name is Lynn Araki-Regan, and I'm a strong supporter of Maui Bicycling League. I'm here to testify in support of West Maui Greenway. You must be wondering why a Wailuku resident is testifying for Greenway in Lahaina. I'm passionate because I know from personal experience that residents such as myself, visitors, and the local economy would strongly benefit from designating multi-use trails for walking and cycling in our communities throughout Maui. Offering this type of recreation has health benefits to trail users, but would also help increase property values and enhance the safety of those riding a bicycle and walking. Unlike other communities that require new infrastructure to be developed and constructed, West Maui, because of the many cane haul roads, already has the infrastructure in place to quickly become a bicycle and pedestrian-friendly community. The County of Maui, I believe, is moving in the right direction with its planning and new development to have our communities walkable and bicycle-friendly. Similar to the trail that my husband, son, and I use in Specklesville, the West Maui Trail will provide a venue for walkers and bicycle enthusiasts to be in outdoors, get fresh air, and not worry about cars and other vehicular traffic. In conclusion, I support strongly the West Maui Greenway project and hope you will too. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for the lady, members? Okay, thank you very much for your testimony this morning. Kim Round. And following Kim will be Carl Powell.
Aloha, everyone. Good morning. My name is Kim Round. I live in Kula. I am a landscape architect, and over my career I've worked on a number of these professionally, but today I'm here as a member of the Maui Bicycling League, and also I'm the co-chair for the Safety and Education Committee. I was involved with the design workshop we had at the end of February for the West Maui Greenway. And the 5.5-mile section that we were looking at specifically at that design charrette was very exciting. And I would have to say that it's an incredible opportunity that I was so excited about. We had everybody from the public, from the county, the state, and from the city of Lahaina. And so it was an incredible collaborative effort. My reasons for being here is because I think this multiple use path that we're looking at is important for exercise and health for everybody of all ages, for children to have a safe place to learn to ride their bicycles, for senior citizens to have a safe place to walk and to keep their health as they grow older, for people with baby strollers, for people on bicycles. So even though I'm a member of the Maui Bicycling League, I'm looking at it beyond bicycles. It's also important for transportation. It's an important connection for a future multimodal hub and connections to Lahaina when we look at the future extension of the Lahaina bypass and having a park and ride or bus connections or places where people, as they're coming into Lahaina, can actually park their car and ride their bike on this safe path into the city of Lahaina and not have to bring their cars in and find places to park. So that's a really important part, is the transportation part. The county engineering staff here in Maui is excellent, excellent. I would have to say that professionally, you've got great people that can do a lot with the budget that you're giving them. And so I think that that is also a really big bang for our buck as taxpayers. And then incorporating the future Lahaina bypass, we had a lot of discussions about that because we know that the vehicular traffic, when there's an accident there, is very, very detrimental. So we were looking at emergency access using the path down the road, and also not interfering with future plans for the transportation system and the roadways. So, you know, we're looking at the big picture for that emergency access too, and not looking at not having the vehicles being left out and just looking at it as far as bicycles and pedestrians go. So it was a big picture thing, so thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Members, any questions for the lady on her testimony? Having none, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Carl Powell, please. Following him will be Alec Stewart.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and council members. My name is Carl Powell, and I'm a very new Maui resident and even newer to the idea of riding bikes in the first place. I have been in the health and wellness business for about 36 years. I started when I was 3. That was a joke. We'll get to that later on. But I'm a person who has not ridden a bicycle since I was in the 5th grade. And 2 weeks ago, I got on the bicycle here and I took a ride and I learned a whole lot of things about pulling back that confidence at almost 60 years old. And I think that the Bridge for Health and Wellness here, there are a lot of people here, not to be rude, who could use the exercise. And I think that it would be an awesome way to get people in a safe environment, make them feel safe, secure, and confident. So that's all I have to say to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for the gentleman? No. Having none, thank you again for being here this morning. Alex Stewart, please. Following him will be Kenneth Lowy, Loewy. Okay, when you're ready, Alex.
I'm Alex Stewart. I live in Paia. I'm a member of the Maui Bicycling League. I'd like to speak in support first of the West Maui Greenway. I live on the North Shore, but I often go to the west side to longboard surf or just hang out at the beach. I go there a lot when I have friends or family visit from the mainland. It's really nice to take them there. And I could imagine taking visitors there to go for a bike ride, get dinner at Leota's. I think it'd be a really nice thing to have selfishly. And then also, from an economic standpoint, I think it's really important that we don't underestimate the economic impact something like this has. Creates opportunities for bike rental businesses, bike tours, and then for the small number of businesses in Oluwalu, it's going to be bringing a lot more people to them. So there's a lot of different ways that the impact can be felt. And then more broadly, and I think this is the important point, is that it's giving visitors a really unique experience. Like the thing that lets our hotels charge more than other places and that brings people here instead of another island or another destination is when people come here and they have an experience that they can't have in other places, and an experience that they'll go home to wherever they're from and talk about. And I think being able to go for a ride on a separated path and you know, end up at the beach somewhere in West Maui and see the beautiful sunset, that's something that I can just imagine people on the mainland telling their friends about. So I think that the power to provide a unique experience for visitors can have a knock-on economic impact. The other thing I'd like to talk about is the North Shore Greenway. I understand that there's money budgeted to complete it this year. I just want to say to you guys, thank you very much for making that happen. It's really great that after all this time, it's getting done. And I understand there's some matching funds from the state that make it really important for it to get done. So please keep an eye on it and make sure that everything goes as planned and we do get that done. This is kind of a longer term issue, but I think it'd be good to start now. It'd be really great if you guys could give Public Works a little bit of money to look at how to make it safer to cycle past the end of the North Shore Greenway. So from Paia to Hokipa. Hokipa is an amazing recreational resource that hundreds of people use every day. And right now it's like an island cut off. If you're too young or too poor to have a car, it's really hard to get there. And there's really just a mile between Mama's and the beach that needs to be made safer because it's not safe to cycle on right now. Thanks.
Any questions for the gentleman on his testimony, members? Having none, thank you very much. Kenneth Lowy, followed by Phil Casper.
Aloha. I apologize if my English is not the best one. My name is Kenneth Loewy. I live now in Haiku. I am a repeater visitor of Maui. I like to be here, to come here again. Maui has a beautiful and unique landscape and weather, and very friendly citizens. I support the West Maui Greenway because this project summarizes what I have experienced has been done by the most successful cities all around the world. I lived more than 10 years in Vienna, then in Zurich, in Germany, in Berlin, and then also in underdeveloping countries like in Bogota, Barranquilla, Medellin, in Colombia, and also here in the United States. And I could experience that these cities that started to change the mind how the people move and live in a city was a very important issue. If you look at the most successful cities, they have expanded the bicycle ways because bicycling is the most or the fastest media or transport media for shortest ways until 5 kilometers. Now with the electric bikes that are growing most than car sales in Germany, this expand to more than 10 kilometers. I support the West Maui Greenway because this project summarizes this trend, this world trend, and I think this will improve a lot the life quality of Maui. And I think that if Maui can build step by step a way that goes all around the island, this will be an incredible attraction for tourists, and also it will improve the mobilization patterns of the citizens, and will also improve the life quality, the health, not only physical, but also emotional from the citizens of this nice island. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Any questions, members? Okay, having none. Phil Casper, please. And following Phil will be Mike Moran.
Good morning, everyone, Council Chair and members of the Council. My name is Philip Casper. I'm with Boss Frogs Dive and Surf. We have been in the visitor industry in the islands for over 25 years, and I'd just like to speak to the economic benefits of bringing in a nice bike path greenway to the West Maui area. There are, as you know, bicycling is very popular and growing every day all across the world on the mainland, and I know from speaking to visitors that many of the people that come to West Maui would love to ride bikes, but as you might or might not be aware of, the only bike lanes that are designated for use of bicyclists in West Maui are on the highway. And I would say that the majority of people that ride bicycles are afraid to ride on the highway. They're just not comfortable with it. It's noisy, and there is an element of danger there. The economic benefits to the visitor industry should not be underestimated. A lot of people that come here would love to have riding a bicycle, especially in an area that is as beautiful as this bike lane that's proposed will be. Will want to use that that bikeway, and they will enjoy it, and they will bring it home to them, and it's just another experience that they will have in the islands that will make it something that they'll want to come back and do again and tell their friends about. So there will be a great economic benefit to bringing in the bikeway. In and above all the benefits that it brings to the community. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, and I thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Any questions for the gentleman? Having none, thank you very much. Mike Moran, please. And following Mike will be Donna Clayton.
Welcome back, Chair and Commissioners. Mike Moran for the Kihei Community Association. A visual reminder that KCA has been asking for a walkable, bikeable community. This island is a community since the 80s. So we are in, even though we're from a different region, we are in full support of this well-supported issue this morning. I would talk more on it, but we have several items in our area, so I have to zip over to that. Going first for CBS 1926, our long-term favorite, the North-South Collector Road. We offer strong support for the expenditure of $800,000 for design work extending from the Lokalani School, where the one-block extension of the existing Liloa Greenway is under construction now, making this a continuous, complete street all the way south to Auhana, a distance of about 1.5 miles. This expenditure for 2017 would set up federal funding of $8.67 million over the next 5 years for construction. Kihei and all of South Maui is in dire need of traffic relief going north and south, cars and bicycles. While completing this 1.5-mile segment is a far cry from a third corridor across Kihei, with the continued explosion of residential and commercial projects, this would allow some residents to move locally, again by car and bicycle, while remaining off the Pialani Highway and South Kihei Road, extending from Waipualani to Auhana, a distance of about 2 miles. Moving on to CBS 2764, pavement rehab. Yes, all areas of the county have continuous need, but we sure do for our residents and visitors as well. So we ask for your support of this expenditure. CBS 2766, PEK, a resurfacing. With the Krause Company's long-awaited downtown Kihei project construction underway along both sides of this roadway, we are unclear if this is the year is prudent for resurfacing a PEK. CBS 1065, South Kihei Road, Phase 4 improvements, we heartily support. All these items are for this current year. One, we just asked you to examine CBS 1164, the Maui Meadows. This is for the county sewage system. We certainly believe that Maui Meadows should be connected to the county sewer system. We look at it as maybe planning with not much foresight when it was built and considered rural, and it just has cesspools and septic tanks. So we're not sure what this $1.5 million would do, but let's not waste it on other things that we may need. Mahalo.
Thank you, Mr. Moran. Any questions for the gentleman?
Thank you.
Having none, thank you for being here, Mike. Donna Clayton, please. Following Ms. Clayton will be Lee Chamberlain. Yeah, just start when you're ready. Oh, and why don't you adjust the microphone so it's
Aloha.
easier for you.
Okay, thank you. Aloha, Chair Hokama and the committee members. I'm Donna Clayton with Na'alahele, and that's the state trail system, and I'm also part of the West Maui Greenway Alliance. And I represent walkers. I'm a hiker and a walker. I'm not a bike rider. This greenway is for us too, and I just think it's important to keep in mind that there are a lot of people that move all over this island. I go up and walk Thompson Road in Kula from Pukalani. I go to Kapalua and walk the coastal trail. People that live here travel to other areas to walk these beautiful sites, and it would be used by everybody. I want to address the issue of the public-private partnership aspect of this, of our thinking. This is the way forward. We know government cannot provide everything for us, and from the beginning we've been thinking public-private partnership on this project. We have a landowner group right now that's working with us, and they will support us for Phase 1 section. We're working with other landowners to keep this moving forward across the island. We've been doing grant writing. Our National Park Service grant was accepted, and they have been fantastic in helping us not only with the workshop, but with helping us write other grants, because I'm the grant writer and I've never done it before. But I'm learning, they're helping, and we have 4 other grants in that we are very hopeful about, but we just need to do a lot more work in that area. We intend to do it and work hard on that. After the workshop, we also decided to come out with a marketing fundraising group as a subgroup of our organization with the West Maui Greenway, and have really talented people in marketing help us with this so we can really do our part. So I wanted you to know that we are going to do that. We also have a lot of talented people in our group who are just giving their time and helping us. So we're a team with the County of Maui, and we really, really want to work with you. The time is now. We have everybody on board, and I really strongly urge you to support the $1.5 million in the mayor's budget. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for presenting a pedestrian perspective for us, so that was appreciated. Any questions for the lady members? Thank you again for your testimony. Lee Chamberlain, please. And following Mr. Chamberlain, we have Saman Diaz.
Good morning, Chair.
Good morning.
Good morning, council members. It's good to see you all again. And I wanted to just say that I'm very, very pleased and thank everybody that showed up today for this event that we tried to organize a couple days ago. You've received testimony today about the fact that there's obviously economic benefits to the Greenway that we're talking about, the West Maui Greenway. And it's also tourist benefits, and there's health benefits. There's all these different benefits associated with it. In addition to that, the economics relative to it in regards to the construction can be supplemented by other processes other than depending upon the county themselves. That is unique. The private landowners that are supporting it have basically endowed themselves to me by the fact that they said that they would go ahead and spend their own money to support this issue. I don't know what other projects you have on the boards exactly that would be comparable to this, but I think this should really be at a high level based upon the uniqueness, the return on investment, and the fact that it is shared by the community as far as the costs. That is incredibly important. I started a petition on Friday night. This morning, we had over 300 signatures. That says a lot to the fact that we might just have a few numbers of orange shirts here right now, but the fact that all these other people that couldn't be here because of the fact that their location or because of the fact they have to work or whatever, they couldn't be here. But they still are supportive of it, and they've signed their name for it, and they've made commentary to the fact that they support it. That is important. And so I really, really, really I beg you to go ahead and consider the fact that the $1.5 million should remain in the budget and should go forward towards the implementation of the West Maui Greenway. In addition to the people that we have here and the people that have testified, we also have endorsements from Senator Brian Schatz, Lieutenant Governor John Sasusi, Senator Roz Baker, State Representative Angus McKelvey, Mayor Alan Arakawa, the Maui Hotel and Lodging, and Rotary Clubs of Lahaina. I thank you very much, and we'll hope to see you again.
Thank you, Mr. Chamberlain, for your testimony. Any questions for the gentleman? Having none, thank you again. Saman Diaz, please. And following her will be Anil Mehta.
Aloha, Chair and Council members. Thank you for your time. And I'm Saman Diaz, chair of Maui Bicycling League, as well as a West Maui resident. And I'm here today to echo the support for the West Maui Greenway for the project for $1.5 million that's allocated to this project. And you all have heard so many great reasons from the testifiers today why this project is so crucial and important for West Maui. Lee Chamberlain articulated really well the number of supporters. We have over 300 supporters who have signed the petition. We did a survey for the charrette workshop, had over 85 people, and no one had one single negative to talk about West Maui Greenway. Within 24 hours, 300 supporters. West Maui Greenway Facebook page is over 100. Maui Bicycling League Facebook page is over 500. We are overwhelmed by the support and saying what a great thing this would be for our community. One really a good point that Mr. Chamberlain brought it up, which I like to echo, is that, as well as Donna, that this is a private and county community partnership. This is a model for Maui. I don't know how many projects that you folks can point out that there has been a support from not only, we are not just asking money from the county. We are bringing our expertise, our tireless time into it, and putting sweat and blood into it, as well as all the grants that we are working towards. So this is a partnership we want to support, and receiving this $1.5 million, we will be able to get other grants, such as from federal grants. And so we really ask you to consider, because this could be a model that we can show it to the community. Don't come to the county and ask, oh, come and do this for us, come and do this for us. Well, come up with a plan, come up with an idea, come up with how you're going to do that, and then come up with resources and support. And I think this can be a model, example for our Maui County. So I thank you for your time, and I sure hope you all will support us. Thank you.
Well, attending district meetings, and they're here just for one project. It is the last project of this department, though, but we're going to take it out of order so that they can hear some of the discussions, and I'm sure they have other things they'd like to do besides make sure we do our job here this evening. So let me direct you to 3240 West Maui Greenway project.
Okay.
That's the last page, so that would be on 887.
Correct. Okay, so jump over to the west side. This is the West Maui Greenway project. It says pilot project, but I think we're beyond pilot. $1.5 million is being requested out of a general obligation bond. I think the council generally knows about this. Maybe some members know about it more particularly that have been on some of the tours. The Maui Bicycling League and some of the testifiers you heard earlier today, some of the folks that are still here, have worked really hard on this concept, and it's really resonated well with the department and the administration, such that we want to put these kind of funds out to make it happen. And it's also important to note that they've been very successful in getting grant funds, and recently got some grant funds from the National Park Service that conducted a 2-day workshop, charrette, and ride to start the visioning process for how this can really happen. I participated. I thought it was a really great event, and it was neat to see the community galvanize around what could be. And there's genuinely a lot of excitement there, and I think you heard a lot about that today. One thing that charrette came up with as far as kind of a first phase was we were originally looking primarily at the county lands. Counties purchased a lot of property in this area, as you know. And this area being basically from Olowalu north towards Puamana. Some of it includes our flood control district, and others are lands that have been purchased or about to be purchased. And even from the standpoint of trying to manage those lands, it's important to have people on the land, residents on the land, not undesirables on the land, if another way to put it. But it's a facility that, you know, pretty much already exists. The right-of-way has been used for a long time for hauling, and it's something that could definitely happen. The process during the charrette identified a desirable first phase as being from Olowalu really all the way to Lainaluna Road. And that report's being finalized. I believe it was in the draft form, but that was what came out of that meeting. So if we're going to work along those lines, it's a pretty significant effort for us. We need some funds certainly to make that happen. I've also been in discussions with the landowner to the south. So from where our county property ends, basically at Cut Mountain, right? So at the recycling facility, more or less, heading south to Olowalu, is under the control of Olowalu Elua, I think, LLC. That's Pete Martin and folks. Met with Mr. Martin within the last couple weeks. Because I know he's been enthusiastic about this project. He's participated in some of the charrettes. He's had folks from his company attend. But I needed to sit down and talk to him about this and kind of nail down where he's at. And he made it very clear. He's very happy to provide easements as necessary to have this thing go all the way to Olowalu. And potentially, of course, we talk farther south another time, but he's on board. So I don't see that as an obstacle in us moving forward. Of course, we have the power of condemnation if we need to, but if we don't have to use it, it's even better. So in a nutshell, well, this hasn't been a nutshell. It's been a long discourse. It's a very exciting project. And the other thing I just want to add is that during the charrette process, one of the things that was discussed came out many times, especially by the folks who live on the west side, is where there's opportunities that if there's an accident or if there's an event that, you know, shuts down the road or shuts down one lane of the road, if there's an opportunity to move anybody onto this facility, that is, you know, potentially a really big deal. And lately, of course, as we all know, you know, that side of the highway, you know, is having issues almost on a daily basis, you know. And here it is, what is it? What today's? Tuesday already? We had one yesterday, right? It was this morning.
This morning.
Yeah, the car in the highway, car in the water.
Swimming
Yeah.
bit.
That wasn't even on the highway. Okay. So anyway, that's some of the, you know, one of the aspects we'll definitely look at as we go in the design phase, see how we can accommodate that. So anyway, we're all very excited about it, Chair, and happy to answer any questions you folks may have.
Thank you. Mr. Buzz, are you able to maybe help us with a picture of the route that you might be able to place on the screen for us?
Sure. Give me a second here.
Thank you. Just so that, you know, as many people as possible can have something to visualize regarding the project.
Mr. Chair, while he's doing that,
Yes, sir.
to kill some time, if you will, if I may, just ask the director, in the description it says from Olowalu to Hokiokio Place, but you mentioned Lahaina Luna. What would the 1.5 mil, what would this project entail?
Director?
Yeah, when this was written up, that was the original first phase that had been discussed. But going through this more public process, if you will, through the folks that participate in the charrette, they came up with Lainaluna Road.
Nice.
We can certainly do either way, but I think to respect that process, I would suggest we look at all the way to Lainaluna Road, even though that may mean that might be the design and any permitting required, but maybe the construction portion is, you know, under what we control.
Okay. And Mr. Chair, you know, I want to commit, I really support this project. I was on one of the rides, and I want to commend the group that has been very passionate about it. And they came here, they had a lot of testifiers, and a group of them are still here. And they actually walk the talk. I noticed that their bicycles are in the bicycle rack downstairs on the second floor, so they actually came here on their bikes. I can tell it's their bikes because of the way they are. So I just want to say I appreciate the fact that, they really mean it, and I want the members to see that it looks like that they really mean it and are willing to go the extra mile. And I know he's still trying to find the...
So let me ask the director, is there ability to get some additional federal dollars for this project?
Chair,
Yes,
there's potential
Deputy.
for federal dollars with this project.
Can it be on a reimbursable, so if we feel to move it forward and fronting county money, would that be a problem to get the reimbursement?
I'm not really familiar with the process, but we are looking at perhaps getting a Tiger grant, even.
Okay.
When we met with Senator Schatz, I want to say about 6 months ago, and we talked about some of our priorities on the west side, and one of the projects that we had talked about was, well, there's this West Maui Greenway, and he got really excited about it, and he said that he would definitely support this project if it were brought before him, or before, for some kind of federal assistance. So that's something that we're exploring right now. I know I've had several talks with his office and have also been on several webinars with organizations that are involved with Tiger funding. So we think that this is a match or a good fit for that program. We do understand that there is a lot of commitment at the local level for some sort of match. So what we need to do right now is at least get some plans prepared, a design, and a cost-benefit analysis. And because we have staff on board who can now do that and help us with it, that's something that we're looking forward to.
We really need that answer on the reimbursement so that we can make a decision whether to move it forward and take a chance we're going to fund it by ourselves or see what's the opportunity to get the reimbursement from federal highways. And I just bring it up because I know in my meeting with the administrator 3 weeks ago, he has committed to me he is coming to Hawaii. He will be meeting with the state director, and I've asked him to come to Maui to look at our projects here and the MPO circle. So he's open to that, but we might as well get our ducks in line when the administrator comes to be able to make our case on why we would feel we could qualify for some of those dollars. That would be appreciated. Okay, Mr. Boz, thank you for helping us out here.
Yes, so Mr. Chair, this is from our pictometry online. So you see very detailed pictures here. This is unfortunately as much as I can zoom out. It can zoom in more, but it's as much as I can zoom out.
Okay.
So this is the transfer station where the refuse is collected. So my understanding is that it would like end or start here along this road. Is it? I'm not sure. Maybe
Other
the
direction.
Oh. But where does it end? Though?
So you're going left toward the left.
Oh, I apologize. This is in the middle of it then. So it would start down. You're going along this route here all the way to Leota's kitchen area.
So is that be by Camp Ikusa, where it starts?
Oluwalu
Oluwalu
store.
store?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the road here. Yeah. If you want a bigger picture, Mr. Chair, we can go to Google Maps.
No.
And see. But this is
we're
yes.
getting one good sense at
Yeah,
least.
so this is where Oluwalu store is here, right? And then the land that they're talking about is running along the highway.
Correct.
Back all the way to Hokiukiu Road. So.
Okay, but now we're moving it to Lahaina Luna, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Chair, if I may also
Please,
add,
Deputy.
there is language in the existing West Maui Community Plan for some sort of greenway for this area. So that's one piece of
Okay.
language that supports this project.
Okay. So yeah, of course, we're going to be looking at the highway fund to help pay for some of this. I have no problem looking at bicycle and moped fees, whether it be registration and licensing, and dedicate all that revenue back into the fund for support the program and the maintenance of this type of projects. So you guys might want to think what you may want to recommend or be open to supporting regarding the registration of fees and licensing. Yes, Deputy?
And I also had one more thing. In our countywide bikeway item that we haven't gone through yet, there is an item in there for design. So just wanted to let you know that we were thinking about the design for this facility when we initially worked on our CIP list.
Have you folks, Mr. Buzz, any advancement of cash for the design of this project has undergone already? Would you know?
The only place that it would be aware of would be in the countywide bikeway improvement. I don't have that in front of me. I can ask the department, may have a better understanding.
Director, have you moved this project into the design component yet? Okay. Yeah.
We're looking for design and construction funds.
Okay, got it. Ms. Cavella, questions?
No.
Mr. White?
Thank you, Chair. Does this project, or does the route follow the old Cane Hall Road all the way? So we're not making use of any of the Mauka alignments of some of the older Cane Hall roads?
Director?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, it generally follows the Hall Cane Road, except where we made the flood control project. Then it jumps on our maintenance road.
Right.
And then there's also, within some of the subdivisions, Launipoco, their own bike path, which could also, it would join to that as well. So it does provide the start of a network.
Okay, so they could go up Hokiokio or up Kaheliku and get on the upper bike paths.
Right.
Okay, good. I think it's about time, and that's a great project. So, thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Mr. Guzman?
I don't have any questions. I've been working with this group for quite some time, and they've also helped on the central pedestrian plan, and it all integrates together, and it's part of just getting more healthy and having, the most important part that I see about this is the alternative emergency access, and that is a health and safety issue. So I support this project. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Mr. Carroll, questions on this project? Mr. Couch?
Yeah, one last question. We talked, I believe the testifiers talked about public-private partnership. Have you guys been involved in those discussions? I know you talked to Mr. The owner for easements, but is anybody from the private sector contributing either funds or time, land?
Director?
Well, we always want to explore those partnerships. I mean, the bicycling league's already been I feel like we're their partner. They're ahead of us. Mr. Martin has already indicated a desire to actually try some other new experimental concrete techniques that could be laid down on the existing surface. So I think he was willing to try that on some of his properties, see how that worked, see what kind of strengths they get, and the costs. So we'll continue to explore that for sure.
Okay. Yeah, because that would help a lot, of course. And then if we can get federal dollars, we can make it either longer or a much nicer product. Okay, thank you, Chair.
Okay, any other questions on this project, members? If not, we're going to take our break at this time. and return and continue the review of the department's projects. So we'll be in recess till 6:45. Okay, we are in recess.